Hey friends, so I ended up not going to work today. Let's talk about that while we play around with the items I received in my boxy charmija, nena. I'm over here thinking boxy still. While I play with the items I received in my Ipsy Extra, I do have like a cute little combination of both my PR and my paid box because at this point, like, todo está all over the place and that's okay. The point is to try the product, okay? Ignore this, okay? These are not transplant implants, no plants, no plants. I did color my roots and I left the dye in a little too long, and you know, I still have hair dye on my edges and stuff, so we're gonna ignore that, which is why the hair's down. So we're gonna start off at the beginning. I am going to use my hydrating gel that I got. People hate when influencers, creators do this. I kind of think it's annoying too, but I found myself doing it. So this is the Hydrating Dewy Gel Cream with Hyaluronic Acid and Ceramide by First Aid Yari. I have been using this and I do like it. I don't like this taponcito. It kind of like, I don't know, like a suction onto it. So let me tell you, Nana, what happened. You might be thinking it's kind of dramatic, but it really wasn't. This past weekend, my in-laws were here and they rode up from, hold on. They rode up from Miami in the motorcycles. They wanted to do a quick little ride, not quick, but like a nice ride here, because we usually do like our group rides down in Miami, go to other areas, and we were like, you know, we have some really cute areas here in PSL that I think you guys would really enjoy. So, you know, whenever you guys can, ride up. And they did. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit for about a minute because that's what technically you are supposed to do if you want your makeup to look really pretty and lay on your skincare really pretty. I am going to work on my brows, which you should know this one is finito. If you're looking for really good brow gel, this is the L'Oreal Brow Laminate 24 Brow Laminator. Really nice. And I still don't have a spot for my mirror. But yeah, this is the one that I kind of like swear by. There's a few others that I've tried that I'm like, okay, it's cute, it's okay. But this is like my most fave. Y mira, se me acabó. L'Oreal drugstore, totally affordable and accessible and all that good stuff. My mirror's here. You guys, I'm still trying to figure life out. I hope you guys don't mind the mirror. We're working with what we got. What was I saying? Oh, so they did just that. They rode up here. They spent the entire weekend here. Your girl threw down in the kitchen, which I always do. So I'm over here cooking. We're having a great time. Boom. I actually went on the motorcycle ride. My mother-in-law rode up from Miami. She told me, hey, like, I want you to take your helmet. She goes, you ride with one. And I'm like, no, the girls. Like, how are we going to get the girls around? I have to drive my car. And she says, no, you take the bike ride and I will drive the car. That way, you know, the girls still come, but you still get to have like a really good time. And I was like, awesome. So that we did. She had the option of either taking my car or Juan's car, but she was like, no, like, I'll drive your car. It's fine. She drove my car for a few hours. Great time, like I said. That was Saturday. When we get back, she parks in front of Juan's car, so she like pins him in. They needed to get the motorcycles in, so she couldn't park on the other side and still get 3 motorcycles in. Anyway, la cosa es, nena, what happened? What happened. I have to go in with foundation. I'm going to use the Armani Beauty because why not? If you're interested, I am linking some of these items below. The Armani Beauty is in 7.1. And this is like their reformulated formula, which actually has skincare benefits to it and as a life update, which is not really a life update, but it's an update. This is amazing. On a first, I was just like, I don't know that I love the setup, but I've been working with this formula slightly differently than when I did the try on, and I really like it. I've been able to wear this to work, deal with like my schedule on a daily perfectly fine, and the foundation looks stunning. Also, if the lighting is a little off, ay Dios mío, there we go. I changed up I changed up how intense the lighting was, because not that I needed to, but honestly, like, my eyeballs, I have really bad dry eye, and it was kind of getting to me, and I was like, you know, if you're at my house, it's not that bright, and I'm here talking with my friends, So do I really need the light to be that bright? Y'all just need to be able to really see color and stuff. So I hope the lighting is pretty okay. I'm still gonna play around with it because I'm me. Y cuando I get, like, when I get something in my mind, I can't let it go. So now I'm gonna still make it to where your girls, you know, like you can see me really, really well, but the lights are not gonna be super bright in my face because that's annoying. And I'm past that. Everything needs to be bright and white and white and white and white face. So yeah, this foundation, after testing it out a little differently than I did before, pretty much obsessed, and my skin loves it and it wears really, really well. I'm gonna move forward with the Delish Balm. It's nice, but I really was hoping that the color would be the color on the outside, and it's not. It's okay. It's nothing super special, I don't think. I just want to hydrate my lips, and then I'll do something else when I know what we're doing with the eyeball. So it's a cute little treatment, if you will. Okay, so what happens? So we're having a few drinks. We're having a great time. Boom. We go to sleep like at 2 o'clock in the morning because we had to call my brother-in-law because it was his birthday. We're living our best. I'm going to bronze really quickly. We go to sleep, wake up. Everything is still fine. Everything is still dandy. I threw down in the kitchen as usual. And we just spent the day, you know, just catching up, talking. My mother-in-law working on some business things that she's like working on. And then eventually they leave. I say all of this to say that we had a lot of time to remember to move my car, at least. We didn't do that. She goes home, and after she leaves, we're watching a TV show, unwinding, showered, everything. Everyone's in bed early. I'm telling you, girl, we shut it down early, okay? Like early, like I'm saying for us, early is like 9 o'clock. Shut it down. I wake up this morning. I am ready. I didn't do my hair. I was just gonna do a pony, doing my eyebrows, and I was like, let me go turn on my car. Because I could turn it on from here, remote start. So I was like, that way it'll like start warming up. I'm going to move on to the Wander Beauty On The Glow. If you guys don't remember, I have Strawberry Fields. And she was pretty intimidating at first until she wasn't. I am going to do what I recommended you would do. And this is bothering me, this stupid mirror. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go in with a brush and lightly. And I know we're working backwards. Calmate. I want to give it a really good shot. I'm not looking forward to the palette, but we're still going to try it. See, so like a little bit goes a long way, and you can add the intensity if you want to. I've tried these formulas before. I think Wander Beauty has really great formulas. I know they can look a little intimidating, but they shouldn't. They're really nice. Anyway, so I go, where's my key? Because I'm looking for it and I can't find it where we normally leave it. So then I tell my husband, I'm like, hey, question, did your mom give you my key? No. He goes, it's not there. No, it's not there. No, sir. He gets up, he's looking for it. We went on a scavenger hunt, cannot find the key. Guy's already awake, so I'm like, hey, by any chance, did grandma leave my key here? She says, no, she said she'd leave it in the car. Your girl goes all the way outside, check the car. The key is not in there. So, and I know it's not in there because maybe I missed it. Maybe it fell, right? So I tried to remote start the car, and it says that a key is not detected. Therefore, the key is not there. And I'm like, oh, to my goodness, what vamos a hacer? What are we gonna do, right? Move forward, and I come inside and I go, sir, we have a problem/issue. We don't have a key to my car, and I have you blocked in. This is where we're gonna bring it all together. I'm gonna go in with a concealer. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Full Cover. This one is in 2N26. I'm gonna go a little lighter on the concealer. Girl, I've been liking that light concealer a lot lately. I'm gonna go like so, and then I'm gonna give myself a moment, and as I'm talking to you guys, blend this out. We start calling my mother-in-law, and you know, I get it, she's sleeping. She's in Miami. She is not thinking about the key. We're like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I had to call out of work today, not planned, but I had to call out of work because it's like, how am I gonna get here? Both cars are like, we can't move them at this point. It was a situation, it was pretty stressful. And for those of you wondering, don't you have a backup key? When I bought my car, I didn't get a backup key. My car is a pre-owned car. I did not get a spare key when I bought the car. And to be fair, this is not the first situation in the past 3 to 4 months that I've encountered where I'm like, man, I should really get a spare key. I have good news. But I remember I started working at like my current job. My husband's car wasn't starting. There was an issue. So I said, look, I'm going to take my break. I'm going to run to the house. I'll leave you my car because I'm going to save the day. I feel like I told you guys this story. I'm going to save the day. So I went, came home, brought him the car, drives me back to work. I get out. Love you so much. I'm your superhero because I saved the day and whatever. I feel good about it. I go to a meeting and I move on in life. Next thing you know, he calls me and goes, hey, did you leave the key in the car? Like, where'd you put the key? And I was like, I don't know. You were driving the car. Duh. Like, you drove off in the car. You should have the key. And he's like, I don't have the key. Long story short, the key was always in my purse. So then at that point, we have 2 cars that don't work again. And that was, I want to say like October. This is like a sign that we need spare keys to our cars. That's just what it is. So eventually my mother-in-law wakes up and she's like, oh crap, like I do have your key. I'm gonna have to drive all the way back to Miami. And we were gonna go get it, but she was like, no. Did you know that there are locksmiths that are mobile? Well, locksmith, right? But that are mobile, and they will come to you and make you a key right there for your car. I have a fob. Juan has a fob with the flip out key. Did y'all know that there are locksmiths with the technology to make a key on demand? We're gonna go in and play with eyeshadow. I am gonna use the Girlactic palette that I got. Again, do not have high hopes, but we will try to figure something out. I wish there was such like a much deeper shade, and I do want to give it the best chance possible, so I am gonna go in with Gerard Cosmetics because it is a very pigmented opaque base, and I feel like after that swatch, girl, we're going to need that for these eyeshadows because they're not necessarily like the best in my opinion. Otherwise, like if it was great quality eyeshadows, I would probably just go with my Level Up primer because I mean you can't go wrong with it. Pero I need full coverage on this lid in order to make the eyeshadow show up. So yeah, so we're sitting here like, okay, well, you know, let's see if a locksmith can come. They told us how much it was gonna be to purchase another key, which is, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm not excited about having to dish out a few $100 for a key, but it kind of is what it is. Like, I need a key, at least a spare. And then my mother-in-law was gonna make her way up to us, and it's a whole thing, you guys. Now, the locksmiths had to figure out whether or not they would even have time to come to my house today to make a key. And I was like, look, if my mother-in-law can't make it up here and I don't get a key, what are we gonna do? Because that would be 2 days without access to cars, which is like not okay. In the end, we ended up, yes, getting a key, which is great. We got a key made, which means I will be back to work on the norm tomorrow. However, this morning was like stressful within itself. I'm only filming now because I like have the time, but also I need to like decompress and relax. It was a lot. I moved the angle to the camera just a little bit because de verdad this here was killing me. Okay, so I'm gonna use an eyeshadow brush. This is a Refer 28 because we don't know how we're gonna go with this and what route I want to go in. I would normally do the purple. You see how like light these are? That's kind of sad. I would normally do the purple. Let's go with the purple and see. Pastels are cute, but if they're done right. When they're not done right, we have a problem. So let's see. I'm gonna tap. I feel like if you're gonna do pastels, a color like these 6 are fine, but then they should have done like 3, right? So like the pastel, the shimmer, and then a deeper tone. So like with this one here, a grape shade would have been great because we could play around with that in the crease. With the pink, they should have done like a hot pink, and with the green, they should have done like an emerald, in my opinion. That would make the palette a little more workable and or universal, especially when people are just trying to build their collection and don't have a lot to work with, but also people who are learning to play around with makeup. You know, these shades are not always going to be like a quick one and done. See, so like at this point, the shade is not ugly, but I know I'm gonna end up tapping into another eyeshadow palette just to kind of make it all work. You may already know what I'm going to say because I am me. I do need to go deeper, and I love that the color story of the outside kind of lets you know what you're gonna find on the inside, like the bright purples. So we're gonna go with purple on the bubble. I am going to go with Eve. Make sure I tap out, and then I'm going to apply that directly on the crease, kind of blend that out. But yeah, like it's been a Monday for sure. Everything that could have gone wrong was going wrong, and Ty had a project she needed to make sure she completed and submitted, but also testing. So it's been a, I don't know, it's been worse than a regular Monday in my opinion. It was kind of crazy today, but we're finally here and everything is perfectly fine. I will get my original key next week, given that the locksmiths were able to squeeze us in today. We just told my mother-in-law, don't even worry about it. Don't drive all the way over here because it is like almost over an hour and a half. So we're like, you know, it's fine. You better believe that before that locksmith left, I was testing everything out just to make sure that the car would turn on tomorrow. I'm gonna drag some of that over here. And then with a clean, fluffy brush, I'm gonna lightly kind of buff that outer edge. Okay, and then I'm gonna move on to another palette. It's gonna be this one over here. And it is, because she is stunning. I literally just need like a creamy pink for the outer crease just to warm it up a little bit, and that's it. So we're gonna go in with that. But do you see the amount of work that I have to, like, I literally have to go, this is like, I'm trying to prove a point here. I have to go through more than one eyeshadow palette to come up with a pretty look that's gonna go with their lavender. And when you really look at it, the lavender doesn't even look lavender, it looks pink at this point. And then I'll go back to the very same brush I had to begin with. I'm gonna go into that little frosty shade. That one is the little lavender frosty shade. Entonces I will kind of, let's see if it does much of anything. I'm going over that lavender. I don't want to be mean. I really don't want to be mean, but I don't know what happened to their formulas. This is horrible. The Girl Lactic, like this should be super frosty and it's not. It's kind of dry and chalky. See what I'm saying? Does that even look lavender to you guys? Because to me it doesn't. I don't know. Like, I feel like they really missed the mark with this palette for sure. And then I already told you guys that the pencil is horrible. Test it out. You'll see what I'm saying. Like, it's really, really bad. So I am going to go in with the one by Defiance Beauty because that one's nice. It's so funny because they look the same. They're shaped to the same. The tip is a little different, but the one by Defiance Beauty, which I ended up getting in an old Ipsy box, just so happened to be way better. I'm gonna go and see, like, it's really opaque right off the beginning. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to mascara, and I should have applied the mascara before doing the eyeliner. I completely forgot the mascara existed, but we're gonna go ahead and apply this on the bottom and see. I truly do not want to go in with falsies today, so I am hoping this at least lifts my lashes enough. But you already know, if a mascara is good, the drama on my bottom lashes are gonna be insane. So I'm gonna have a, let's slowly but surely get in there. Remember, this here is going to be a tubing mascara, and tubing mascaras are not my favorite, but I'm willing to give it a try. Bottom already has drama, like difference, right? So let's curl the top lash. Where's my curler here? Let's curl the top lash. I do like the little spiky ball tip that it has. I'm also wondering whether or not this is gonna hold my curl on my lash, because it depends on the formula for me. I have really stubborn eyebrows and lashes. All right, I feel like this looks pretty good in the sense of, I'm just gonna show you, like, there's the difference. I'm hoping, because my lashes are like cosa, I'm hoping you can kind of see what it's doing to my lashes right now. They make them look thicker and longer for sure, and you can see how dark they are, but I can already tell if I keep applying coat after coat after coat, it's going to get spidery and crispy, and we don't like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on the other side. Okay, now even more, I wish I would have avoided applying the liner at the top, only because it's gonna be harder for you guys to see. I actually went in with a second coat just because I wanted to see. It doesn't look horrible, but because it is a tubing mascara, as it's drying, clinging on to the new formula and creating more buildup. So if you like thicker, like really thick, voluminous looking lashes that may start to look a little, why am I all the way in this corner, Lord Jesus? That may start to look a little on the clumpy side. You have to be careful, but if you like that, then I would definitely go in with the two coats. If you can notice, once you go in and out, tubing mascara starts to dry out. So on here, it's nice and even and pretty. And then over here, it started getting a little like chunky as it applied, which I didn't like. I'm gonna try it tomorrow and I'm gonna wear it to work. I don't hate it, and normally I will apply a tubing mascara and go, absolutely not gonna happen. And you know how I feel about certain product by Kofi, but to be fair, I kind of sort of like this one. I'm kind of like debating because I applied this highlight. I'll do it one on each side. So I'm gonna kind of go like this and apply this one. Is by TYS, and I really liked how it looked on the eye. It's very pretty. The only problem was it started creasing. Pero look at how hydrated the skin looks on that side. It's a pretty rose gold, kind of like universal. I feel like it's gonna work for a lot of people, not just the fair complected girls or like the deeper girls or us, like somewhere in the middle. Oh my god, my eye still feels like they're wet. I'm waiting for that to dry down. I am gonna use on the opposite side the one from On The Glow, and I would normally go in with a brush. I'm gonna use the Refer B 05 only because it's a little easier to target the areas that I want, blend, and see how it's going as it's going on. Yeah, so this one's definitely a true champagne. Very beautiful. I feel like I would probably use this one more often than the rose gold one. I think the rose gold I would probably try to make sure I pair it with the pretty pink blush. But this one, because it's champagne, it's not too cool, it's not too warm. So it's gonna work with pretty much anything that you apply underneath, any tone, whether you're going with peaches or you're going with pinks, berries, it would just look really pretty. I'm gonna take the very tip and go over the brow bone here. Now I have to figure out what lip I wanna do. I'm gonna go with a pop of color on the lip. I'm gonna go in with Maybelline Reviver 465. Oh, that's bright. It's bright, but it's pretty, and I would totally wear this look at any point as long as I had a bright lip like this. Let me know if you have ever lost your car key, had to get it replaced or something, because like this is the second time. I'm glad I have a backup key now because I can't keep doing this. This is the second time. There can't be a third. Let me know if you got this palette, if you tried it. Maybe your formulas are better than mine. Maybe the batch isn't consistent, but I really want to hear your thoughts on the palette and how it performed. All right, friend, if you're still here, that means you watched all the way through and you are a real one. I really appreciate you, so thank you so much. And listen, you don't have to go anywhere. I know I see the comments all the time. You guys are like, we miss all the videos, we miss all the videos. I'm still posting. You're just not getting the notifications. I am gonna list my most recent videos in the description box as per usual. Make sure you visit there. I know you're really gonna enjoy those. And listen, you don't have to go anywhere because YouTube is gonna go ahead and recommend 2 videos here on screen they believe you're really gonna enjoy. So I hope you consider checking it out, and I'll see you guys on the next video.